Welcome back from the dance break. Right now, let me show you. I've got 6 molds, and I've done my best to optimize them so that I'm not going to be using too much of the silicone. Although I'm going to mix both of these together, so equal parts of this. It's UMU 30, basically silicone rubber compound. These two together, what they do is they heat up and they vulcanize together. And over a 6-hour period, they leach out some gas and they become a solid instead of 2 liquids. This, because it's a 1-to-1, this doesn't smell that bad. Both resins, the epoxy resin and this silicone, are 1-to-1 mix ratio solutions, and they don't smell bad. They don't put out any real heavy amount of gas. And if you work with them in a well-ventilated area, you probably won't get sick. And you probably won't even feel an effect or even smell anything. The data safety sheet, each one of these things comes with one. This is upside down, of course. This viscous fluid that does not easily form a mist or vapor, and therefore inhalation hazards are minimal. So basically it's thick, so it doesn't put off a gas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, and with these clear plastic tumblers I'm going to make a 1-to-1 volume measurement, not weight, volume, and I'm going to put those together in a 1/3 canister after having shaken them really well. And then what I'm going to do is mix it up, and you'll see, let me show you. Now, this kind of thing, when this is silicone, when this thing has vulcanized properly, you won't have a problem with touching it. But if some people have reactions to this stuff, so you need to wear latex gloves. If you have a latex allergy, I'm sure you could find some other gloves that you can wear. You generally don't want this stuff on your skin because it could cause a histamine reaction. You could get flushed. I did this once when I got a significant amount on my arm, which was I got red and puffy and itchy all over. Took Benadryl. I was fine. Wasn't able to operate a car for 8 hours, but I was able to go to sleep rather well with all that Benadryl in my system. Took 2, but I'm a big guy. So anyway, I just want to show this to you because it's fairly neat the way they've worked this out. This part that comes in the yellow container comes out this really bright pink color. So if I pour it in here, look at that, it's like a certain antacid color, right? Now we're going to let that fill up most of the way, and then we're going to twist it off like a wine bottle. See how I got some on that area right there? That's not so good. I'll balance it on there. Normally I have a piece of plywood here, which makes things a lot easier to work with, but I hadn't replaced it, and I wanted to do this so that I could get as close to this and the materials as possible. This one comes out a very light blue color. So it's in the blue container, and it comes out this really interesting blue, kind of a grayish blue. Now we can set here. This isn't perfectly level, but you can see I've got basically close to equal amounts of both. So 1-to-1 basically. I may have to use more of this to fill all these different molds that I put together. But one good thing about this is that when you mix up one, it can be even 24 hours later if you put together more UMU without a proper professional mold release or some sort of paper, like wax paper, it will join in with the next silicone mold, because while it's vulcanizing, it will revulcanize to whatever's underneath it. So the good thing about these is that when you mix this pink and this blue together, you get violet. So that's one way to tell what you've got, because if you've got streaks in it, you're not going to have a good mold process, and the resin you put in there might actually stick to the mold itself. So I'm going to come back in 5 minutes after the dance break and show you the final color. Now, another thing about this is, because it's a vulcanizing thing, RTV, basically it's temperature vulcanizing, so it heats up, but also it's supposed to actually activate inside of a certain temperature range, like about 70 degrees. If it gets hotter than that, it might still set fine, but if it gets cold, it'll take longer to actually set, because it needs that heat to vulcanize. Now, you might hear the scraping. I'm scraping along the sides to get as much of the different... Oh, I touched myself with it. Now, it's the mixed stuff, but I still don't want to have a reaction, so as soon as I get inside, I'm going to wash that thoroughly. Even though it is the mixed variety, which should be fine. But just want to let you know I'm being safe. Got 2 or so minutes left, scraping the bottom and the sides to get all this baby mixed together. Originally, I would do this in 2 stages, and I would do it for upwards of 10 minutes. But this stuff stays pre-cured, ready to pour between 15 and 30 minutes. So once you're done mixing it, you should pour it and not sit on it for an hour, because it'll start just making you a big plug inside this yogurt container. We go through a lot of yogurt in this house because we do smoothies, trying to be healthy. There we go. A lot of strawberries, a lot of bananas. In any case, you see it's this violet color. And we try to make it as uniform as possible, still scraping the bottom, still scraping the sides. When we're not going to pour across this pink section right here, we're going to pour through a clear white section of this. Something we also want to do is, when we pour these into the molds, we're going to pour to the lowest part of the mold, or the lowest part of the object. What that does is, when you put just a little stream, and what that does is it pushes the possible air bubbles out of the depressions. So you want to pour slow as you can, or as is advisable under the circumstances, and so it fills up and covers everything in the mold, but first and foremost it pushes out the air from the pockets. Originally I did this just in a capricious manner, on a whim, and made some massive air bubbles. Just because I didn't know what I was doing, and I thought I had read everything correctly. So here, I'm going to keep mixing for a while, and then I'm going to pour, and I'm going to show you what I've done after I pour, because I can't operate the camera and pour too. But suffice to say, it looks like putting syrup into a waffle, and you're trying to fill the little cups of the waffle first and let it rise up above the surface. So I just ran out of time on that thing. I'm going to stir for another minute or so, and after the dance break I'll be back and show you what I've done inside these. Like I said, it's hard to actually show you the pouring because I can't operate the camera and pour simultaneously. See you later.